top of the morning to you. It is Transformation Tuesday, and I am Miss Nisi. We are talking today about transformation and change. As you come in, let us know where you're from. As you hear our podcast, let us know where you're from. Because at the end of the year, we always gather all states, countries, and places. Thank you for listening to us. And I'm so very thankful today just for being awake today. I gotta tell you, it's pretty cold outside. I don't know about you guys, but I am on the sunny side of California, although I think it's not going to be that warm today. Good morning. What are you all thankful for this day? And how do I help you to help yourself while helping myself to reach my greatest potential? For some of you, I know it's not easy. We realize that. Did you all get a chance to listen to our podcast After Dark on Sunday? Usually I do it on a Saturday, but you're going to be hearing more of Vibe Talk After Dark as we include it with our daytime radio podcast. It gives you a chance to talk about what you want to talk about, and we keep it friendly. We keep it where you can sit and chill with us on a very intimate level. And so whatever you want to talk about, that's going to be for Saturday or Sunday. If you're not sure of when to find us, because we're live streaming all over, I just want you to know that Instagram is the place where we're going to do it. We're going to have live Instagram and live just like we do here, but it will be nighttime. So it's going to be custom for you. I'm looking forward to sharing thoughts and feelings, and you're sharing thoughts and feelings of your mind and heart. Today's conversation is going to be taken from this inspirational quote. Sometimes in the wave of change, we find our true direction. I had the opportunity to watch butterflies as I sat in the quietness of myself. And I want to tell you something. Just thinking about butterflies makes me say to myself, where are they going? Have you ever wondered that? What direction a butterfly is going? Some say warmer climate, which is true. They go to warmer climate. While others say, I wonder, like I did. But now, if you've been with us long enough, then you know that Vibe Talk butterflies are being able to, in your life, soar at your highest potential. And so if this is your first time coming up on Vibe Talk, we definitely hope that it will not be your last time. In that, we're going to talk about direction in life. Have you guys ever heard someone say they feel lost? Perhaps it's you yourself that might feel lost. You don't know what direction, or your life could be headed in so many directions at one time. How many of you have ever felt that way? I felt all of the above at one time or another. Lost. I don't know whether to go straight, right, left. When my youngest was very little, I said out loud, I don't know what direction I'm going in. And he said, go left. You gotta find humor in life, because I was very serious, but I was thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. Now I want to ask you guys, how many of you, when you leave home, up on your journey, up on your travels, in your car, use a GPS? Just about all of us are familiar with how we use it, how we're going to access it. But if you have in your lifetime figured it out already, we applaud you. But did you know that sometimes the GPS is wrong? How many of you have discovered that? You type in a specific direction that you know that you want to go, and sometimes it doesn't take you exactly where you want to be. I've even had GPS not be able to comprehend. Why? Because it was a new street, new community, a new way of doing things. We're going to talk about direction. And by the way, we welcome your calls. Our Vibe Talk Direct Connect is for you exclusively. Connection right to Vibe Talk. 661-503-8993. It's Vibe Talk Direct Connect. If you're feeling like you just want to text, that's okay too. Or you can even leave a voicemail. Let us know where you're from. And we thank you for joining our program. We will be right back. We'll be right back. I promise. Did you know that Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast has individual and group sessions? Find out by scheduling your next group or individual sessions virtually. We're back, and thank you all so much for joining us. If you have been to our different streams, we have been so busy that I haven't had one moment to be able to put up any new podcast. But if you go to our YouTube, my co-host, who takes care of that exclusively, has done her job. Thank you, Trish. We're going to be talking about direction in life. And we want you to chime in. We want you to be able to tell us how you're feeling about your direction in life. We're going to talk about making progress. Because that has a lot to do with change, the way we're doing things. Either we're going to progress, regress, or depress. We're going to do one of the three, if not all of them. So it's important for you and I today to have direction so that we can make some kind of progress. Even if it means that you're taking one step at a time, that's okay too. But let me ask you, how many of you think that it's easy to make that kind of change for clear direction? You know, we're dependent upon things to get us around. Now remember, this is not a radio show that's going to give you direction. We simply are having a conversation. I am a wellness coach, and I learn to get well, be well, and stay well. Just as you're learning, I am on level ground with you. Why is that even important for me to say that? Because you all have taught me a thing or two, and I like to learn. So let's learn together about having direction in life and how you feel about that. You know, we talked about GPSs and how we rely on them to get us around. We talk about getting to the direction that we want to go and using that. Some of us, I know for a lot of younger kids, when my kids were little, they liked to use the compasses. And I used to think it was the most boring toy, but yet here they were, trying to figure out the compass. But we're more reliant by technology and how efficient it is. So we use our GPS. We use it quite frequently, don't we? And we talked about how not easy it is to understand direction. Especially when you're young and you're inexperienced, you're just trying to figure it out. You're working out the kinks and working out the obstacles that you're facing in life, even while some of us older people are still figuring direction out. You know, when we have direction in life, it's really about purpose. It's really about purpose. And even if you are a non-religious person, you understand that there has to be a purpose in life. What is your purpose? What is your purpose in life? Isn't it a beautiful thing when you understand the purpose of life? You know, We all have the ability to be able to see wrong direction, right direction. We need to be guided by something. But is that something or someone that you're being guided by, is that all that you need? And does it lead you into a full purpose in life? Are you still needing that help? How many of you feel like you are afraid to say that you have no direction in life? How many of you are still at that point? And there's no judgment. We just want you to discover today, as you find direction and purpose in your life, we want you to discover your own strengths and what is important to you. While we know that direction is not easily ascertained, we do know that direction, change of direction, new direction does not happen overnight. It comes with much time and experience. And I'm going to tell you right now, for those of you who feel like you've lost direction, it's okay to ask for support. It's okay to learn from others through their experiences. And it is okay for you to raise your hand, even as you're listening to this, to say, I claim, I embrace needing direction. Because you're going to find out with Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast that as a wellness coach, my desire is not to coach you with my answers. My desire is to be able to help you to discover that you do have the answers. And that is getting control of your life. Here we are listening in to this podcast, and one of the things that we claim or want to embrace is discovering our need. So I'm going to ask you another question. What are you needing at this time? What is your need at this time? We're going to turn that into a Vibe Talk question. What is it that you are needing at this time? I want to tell you something about direction. And when it comes to thinking about decisions for direction, I am one of the biggest procrastinators. Believe me, if you want to get something done, I am probably the last person to get it done on time. I embrace that about myself. But I don't say, yes, I'm that way. No, I didn't have to discover it. I embrace it because in order for me to embrace, I must first discover that about myself. You know, that's called being realistic. We have to stop procrastinating in life, in the direction that we need to go. Because some of you are very efficient, proficient in where you want to be in your life. And I got to give you that. Upon talking to many of my clientele, when in a one-on-one session, they know exactly what they need to do, but they don't realize that they need help. And that's okay. We all need help. But now, if you remain in a state of not taking risk, not acting upon what you know to be clarity in your life and direction in your life, you become powerless because you're in a state of stuck. State of stuck. That's an interesting word. How many of you have ever felt stuck? Procrastination makes us inactive. But I want you to tell yourself that you can do it. Not only affirming to yourself that you can do it, but embracing the ability that you have to become active, to change something about your procrastination. You remember how I said I am the biggest procrastinator? I had to come out of my state of inactivity to realize that there was something I needed to do about it. Not only as a mom, an educator, a coach, but for myself. Because as long as I procrastinated, I felt like I didn't have accountability. Because as long as I procrastinated, I just got it done whenever I felt the need. How many of you get things done or will get things done tomorrow? And then your tomorrow, you say, I'm going to get things done. I'm not going to worry about it. See, that's what I was doing, putting things off until tomorrow. How many of you do that? Your tomorrows becomes weeks, years, decades. So let's think about the direction of our procrastination. Where does it get us? You know, we do say we finally get it done. We're always late, but we get it done. We get it done. People in the work field have things that they need to meet, deadlines. I'll get it done. I'll get it done. But the sooner we realize that we procrastinate in life and we address it and move it to action, we will not stay stuck. We're going to be right back. I'm going to go to another commercial break. I'll bet you didn't know that you could ask Alexa Siri, and Google for the latest Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Go ahead, try it. We are back. Good morning, Lorenzo. Good morning, and welcome to our radio podcast show. We're talking about direction in life. How many of you feel that you need direction in life? Anybody? We're talking about that today. Please stay with us as we talk about direction in life. And I want to see what you all come up with. You know, it's easy for us to tell other people something, but I want you to discover what your purpose, what your values are, what you have experienced that's either cleared your path to direction or kept you from clear direction. Let's learn together, shall we? Thank you in advance for joining Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Don't forget to check out our reels. So now, has it become habitual for you all or anyone to find your focus when you're looking for direction? Or do you know, or are you yourself a person that is without focus? You know, some of us get up in life and we don't have any particular focus. We just do whatever comes next. But now, when we change the narrative in our life, and we're changing it to the negative, such as job switchers. You're here for these many months, you're there for that many months, and it can come true with moving as well. Are you moving with a purpose, or are you switching jobs with a purpose? Again, I ask you to come a little closer. Are you living without clear focus? I know as a photographer, I do photography, and that camera has to focus in order for me to complete my goal. And what is my goal? To get the best shot of whatever it is that I'm taking a picture. Now, either I'm going to clearly focus to get the best shot, or I'm going to look into the lens and not clearly focus. I want you to decide which one am I going to be successful at. The one that's out of focus or the one that's in focus. And I see my co-host, and I will let you in. So, we're talking about direction. A lot of us are career oriented. And I talk about career because, you know, some of us do switch jobs. And the reason why we do that is because we need to find what works best for us. I'm not going to tell you if that's wrong or if it's right. You have to be the one who decides that. Because you have goals, you have plans, and you want to be able to do what is successful for you. But you must have clear focus in order to be successful. That's in anything that you do. Good morning to my co-host, Trish. Good morning.
Good morning.
And what are you thankful for today?
I'm thankful for having a restful day today. That's what I'm thankful for.
Love it. Love it. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are still in celebration mode. All this month, we are going to be celebrating Vibe Talk being on air 3 years. How many of you know that you need to take action in order to be focused, to be at your best potential? That was a mouthful I just said, but I'm going to repeat it again. I'm going to repeat that. How many of you need to take action? Not only do you know that you need to be focused first, but when it comes to your direction in life, because you're taking action means that you're going to do something about it. You're going to change something about what you're doing. You know, it's so easy for us to have conversations such as this one, goals and direction in life. They end up being nice conversation, but we want it to be more than a conversation. We want it to be something that you say, you know, I listened to that podcast and I learned something about myself. I learned that for all these years, or all these months, or all these weeks, I needed to take action. I embraced the fact that I wasn't on a clear path directionally in my life. You say to yourself, but I did nothing about it. See, it's when you embrace it, acknowledge, and take action that your chances of being on a clear direction, your goal, success, that path that only you can take. Only you know the direction you want to go. And we hope that this Tuesday's transformation helps you and that you will decide a change for the best of you. We hope it'll be the right one for you. We hope that we will get a letter saying from you, because of this conversation, it changed my life. So really, what path are you on? It's not up to me to tell you, even as a wellness coach, professionally, to say, well, that's the right one. You must choose it for yourself. You know, a lot of people say, trust your intuition. But now, is your intuition trustworthy? Getting connected to yourself will help you answer that question. We're going back to purpose in life. I think it's important because purpose in life, you're going to have to answer that. Does your purpose in life value who you are? You can take a group of young people versus a group of older people, and in each group, you're going to find there are some who feel completely purposeful. They'll tell you about their meaning of life. And then there are going to be some that really don't have any purpose in life and have never thought about it. I am paused because I want you to think about that. And I want you to answer this question in your own interior walls of your human heart. You know, the heart of our mirror, which is the soul of our mirror that lies within you, that is you, recognizing that each and every one of us are identified by our strengths, by our values, the way we think, the way we feel. We're all identified by that. And that to me is so unique. We've had a lot to deal with throughout the year. And in celebration of our 3 years, I'm going to tell you, I have faced a lot. What about you, Trish?
I know I have.
Yeah. We've all faced something. But you know what? The direction in your life and in my life, we have stayed positive and hopeful. I want to take this time to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning into our podcast. It doesn't matter if there's one or two people, and I always say this every year, but some of you have not given up on us, while others of you are not here, but you're still thinking about us because it's been unforgettable. And if you want to hear what I'm talking about, just go to our YouTube page and listen to our over 100 podcasts posted. That's for this year alone. Imagine that times 3. Vibe Talk, hashtagging that, and our Vibe Talk YouTube channel, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion. If you would, Trish, can you put that, please? You've all decided to remain positive. We still want to hear your stories. Even if you feel like your life is not going in the direction that you hope for, keep trying. It's when you give up. Don't give up. Life is in the direction that you're going. Every life has been filled with things that happen. You know, you use your GPS and there is road obstruction. And you say, gosh, I can't go that way because the roads are blocked or they're working on the freeways. How many of us have had that happen? At
Yes, I've
that
had that.
moment, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying yes, I've had that happen when me and my dad went somewhere.
Yeah. Did he give up?
Nope, we found another way.
Ah, how many of you heard the key word, finding other ways? Being open-ended when you face your life's roads, obstruction in your path of the direction in life. See, you find other ways and you don't give up because you know that your ultimate goal is to get there. How many of you want to get there? So you have to be willing to get there. And that's what I hope that you all will do. I want you to be prepared. See, all these 3 years, Vibe Talk has been about being prepared in life. Prepared for whatever it is you're going to face. This year, I'll bet you guys have been through a lot of things, worse than maybe even ourselves here. But you know what makes you strong? Is the fact that you're willing to challenge yourself. You're willing to say, despite what I'm going through, I'm going to have a positive attitude. We thank you for that. You know, happiness is a key factor. If I ask you the question right now, how many of you want to be happy? Every hand, man, woman, and child wants that. Why do you think that Disneyland and Disney World make so much money? Because their slogan is what? The happiest place in the world. But now, as we believe in happiness, and this is no disclaimer to Disney because all you guys know how much I love Disney. But now, is that the only happy place? See, it's your state of mind in your direction to life, your direction in life. It's your state of mind. That is your mental state, your health state, your human state. Because living in your own body, you take control of what happens to that. So you can be in a happy state without having to travel anywhere. It depends much on you. Depends much on you. In the words of Jiminy Cricket, he said, let your conscience be your guide. Now, I'm going to say this, because some of us have to have our conscience trained in the right way. The Bible speaks about that, and I love that because Jiminy Cricket was not always right, because we all know what happened in that story of Pinocchio. Pinocchio started to listen to himself, and oh boy, what trouble he weaved. Now that's fairyland. But when we learn from that, that's not always correct. But I want you to question how you feel, why you feel. When did you start feeling like that? Because you know, there are some people out there, their conscience doesn't bother them if they go and steal, if they go and rob or kill someone. There was one man who said, I killed because I felt like it. Now, would you say that he was guided by his conscience? What would you say? So we have to think about not only our instincts and not always trusting what we say our conscience is, but we do trust the truest feeling of something not feeling right. You see the difference? You must think about what is right. How do we decide that? Past experience. What would happen if we went out there and we really decided that we were going to go with the more negative thoughts? What would happen if we did the right thing? See, thinking about that. That's what I love about Vibe Talk. It allows you to be able to decide without a coach telling you what to do. Each and every one of our Vibe Talk shows have been about you thinking. We certainly don't want to judge anyone in life, in your life or in anybody's life. We want you to find your direction. Take the destination that you feel is correct. A lot of times, like me, sometimes if I'm not listening to my music list, I'm listening to the radio. If I'm on a journey and I have to get on the freeway, they'll tell you, avoid this road and this road. But they don't always tell you which road to take. But remember, you've got to get to your destination. You must decide what is best for you. How many of you think that your values and direction are something to think about? How many of you think about your values? Do you
I do.
start choosing? Go ahead, Trish.
I do.
Can you tell us about that experience when you think about your values?
Yes. When I think about my values, I usually match that with my decisions and what I choose to do, because values to me are my morals. They're something that I believe in, and if I don't follow my values and cherish my values, like, my conscience will be bothered. So I always cherish my values and respect them when I make decisions.
Yeah, I like that too. Thank you so much for that. So when we think about our values, they should matter to us, not choosing to ignore them. If you ignore what your values mean to you, you're going to have a lot of people that take advantage. So we're going to encourage you to be aware. Your values are yours and yours alone. And if we all share the same values, that's okay too. But if you have different values, we're going to respect that. We're going to respect that. You are unique as you are going through your path of life. You know, you're going to go through some ups and some downs. This whole year has been filled with ups and downs. We've all experienced it. What have your values changed? We didn't think that we would get here to the year 2023 because we had so much going on. And we forget. How many of us have forgotten things that have happened to us throughout the year? We sometimes forget. You know, I didn't think about it. You know, the time has passed by so fast. Time has passed by so fast, I almost forgot what took place in the year of 2023. And I'm talking about values. And why do I want to talk about values? I'm having technical difficulties, guys. I'm working it out right now. Hold on just one moment. The reason that I want to talk about our values is because have we forgotten what true values are? And we're going to talk about this for a moment. Because when we think about our values in life, what are yours and what are mine, we're going to have some variations, your direction in life. Have we forgotten that there were innocent babies, children, who did nothing but go to school, get their awards, and were shot down because of a person that didn't value them as human? Did we forget that that happened? All they did was go to school. Have we forgotten about the people that we said that we valued in the music world? When the cameras go off, do we value that they have life too? Have we forgotten about the Judd family? The mom took her life. But I want you to start thinking about others around you and what they might value. Do we stop to listen to them? See, almost 365 days have been completed at the end of this month. Do we now know the real meaning of value? You see, because our life goes on, and we get lost in translation of our direction, but may your endeavor to have true meaning in your life bring change so that you have true direction. You see, those 9 little lives, or those 10, 12, even the grocery store where the man came in and shot all those people that were just going to the store, taking a morning trip. Did it make you stop and think about your direction? Because I saw people that had changed direction in the way that they did things. After that grocery store killing, you saw parents holding their children a little tighter. We know that children oftentimes want their own independence and they run off, but they wanted to value their children a little bit more. You saw people together. After the school shooting in Texas, parents started to think about what they were going to do with their children who had survived that. And if it hasn't touched you yet, your direction of life will always find an obstacle. May it not be something like that. So for 365 days, where are you going in your life? Your wave of change. Has it made you stop and think about it? Has it transformed something in your life? You know, I oftentimes think about the Judd family. Never have known them, but there are people that are close to us, and I'm going to tell you right now, that are thinking to end their lives. We don't know who they are, but just the fact that someone took their own life and may be that close and we missed it, let's value them a little bit more. You know, I don't waste time on who's not speaking to me, who's not going to talk. Here's my value. Know that I love you. That's to my family and my friends. But I want to be like the butterfly. The butterfly waits for no one. That butterfly takes its wings and it continues to go out through the day, and by the end of its day, they've had a complete journey. I ask you today, where are you going? The butterfly wastes no time in its span of life. Man is able to live 70, 80. The Bible says with special mightiness that even 100. However, in that lifetime, do we respect the values of other people? Or do we take our butterfly wings and have clear direction? I don't know where that butterfly was going the other day as I looked out of the window and admired that. but it had a journey. I ask you, where are you going? You've had 365 days, and we're at the tail end of those days, and we will begin a new cycle all over again, January 1st, 2024. We celebrate those struggles. We celebrate those parents. We celebrate those who have been determined despite the loss of loved ones, despite the bad news of sickness. We're celebrating you because you have conquered. You have flown your butterfly wings. You have transitioned. You didn't go back and want to be a caterpillar. You decided that you're not going to stop your journey, that you were in clear view. Somehow, some way, you're going to find another way to fly your butterfly wings. That's why you will see the butterflies with us, because they never cease to amaze me. Let's begin our journey by asking ourselves, what are we going to do? Because no one knows what's going to happen in our wave of change. But here's what we do know. We got to stay focused. I was reading a story the other day, and I'm going to turn it over to Trisha's Treasure. I am having technical difficulty, so bear with me, please. A man was stricken with cancer, and when he went to the doctor, he first found out, I don't ever want to be in his shoes to find out that I had so many months to live. But this cancer was terminal. It was a woman, excuse me. What did she decide to do? No, she didn't go back to be a caterpillar. For all the time that she had remaining in her life, she did everything with her life that she ever wanted to do. And then she passed away. See, we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, but I ask you today, get to know yourself so that you get to know what direction clearly that you want to go in. Don't get lost in the translation of life. Go head on in life. Trish, you said something that was very triggering to me when I asked you, did your dad give up? You said, no, he found another way. See, the woman who had just found out she had cancer, sure, that was horrible news. But she respected the value of living, and she found purpose in life in that time that she had to still live. I say today, are you still living? Get up, stand up, take action. I love this subject today. Sometimes in the wave of change, we find our true direction. Let's not forget, there's still people out there who are suffering. See, time has went on for us, and we've been sad because things happen. But let's empathize with people that we know are hurting, and every day those parents have had to get up without their children, and they're living for other family members. Let's listen a little bit closer, and I'm going to say this, even for families that choose not to talk. Think about that. Because in your lifetime, there's going to be a time where people are not going to come and lift you up, so to speak, come and get you. Life goes on. As I sat to look at that butterfly flying around, I sat in that chair and I realized that butterfly is going to have a very eventful day. Let's be more like butterflies and clearly see true direction. Trish, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm having technical difficulty with our music over here. Go ahead, Trish.
About 2 weeks ago, my brother, he saved a bird because my cat was trying to get it, but my brother saved it, and we discovered that its wing was broken. So we nurtured it. We took care of it for about 3 hours. We took care of it, and all that bird was trying to do the entire time was fly again. That's all that bird was trying to do. And I just thought about that just now during this podcast because me and that bird, we have something in common where sometimes with my music, I feel like I'm at a point where I have writer's block and I can't think of anything to do. But regardless if I'm blank in the mindset, I still try to create something. And the more that I try to create something, um, it turns into something beautiful where whether it's just one note and it takes about sometimes it takes an hour to think of something, and in that hour I think of a whole masterpiece of music. And as that bird was trying to fly, regardless of if its wing was broken, it knew its purpose, which is to fly. It was doing it ever since it came out of the egg, and it just wanted to continue to be what a bird is supposed to be, to do what a bird is supposed to do. And that's how change and values and being who you are is. You have to learn to know your purpose and embrace it and put it into action because that is your reflection of who you are and who you want to be. And only you know that. And you can influence yourself and encourage yourself, regardless if there is no support. You have the ability to think, I can do it, and I can keep going and continue to grow. It's only when you are down, the only direction left to go is up. So continue to look up and fly to be the best that you can be.
Love that. Love that. I appreciate that, and that's definitely a lion's roar. I'm seriously having technical difficulty, but we're getting through. So, in the event that you have waves of changes in your life, we want you to stay focused. Stay focused. We want you to know that there is strength in your journey despite the obstacles in your roadway to life. However you get there, there's always another way. And we're hoping that these podcasts find you uplifted, they find you joyful, they have rejuvenated you, they have given you life. You know, we can look at examples of things because our life is fulfilled with examples. If you feel like your life is not exciting enough, I ask you to just look around. What does life teach you? Because it's all kind of hints. You know, you just heard Trisha and myself talk about butterflies and birds. We value those things. Those things touch our heart. And I don't believe that they happen by coincidence. I believe it's a reason for why that comes into our lives. I truly believe that. Like helping the bird with a broken wing, and me sitting down looking at the butterfly who was going to have an adventurous day. Trish, you said something very profound. That butterfly was going to fly because it was determined to fly even with its broken wing. But us human, we sit in our own human body and we just don't know what to do. So for Transformation Tuesday, I ask of you to find clear direction within yourself. Within yourself, because nobody's going to give it to you. And in life, your GPS in your life are support. Who is that support in your life? Sometimes we have to cheer for our own selves because we're just not going to have that human support. But don't count yourself out. So we hope that you will keep healing from here until 2024. We'll see you next time. And thank you so much for your being able to be here with us. Thank you, Trish, for all of your creativity. Thank you for being my amazing co-host. You have so much to add, and we appreciate who you are. We value you here. And we want you guys to know that in case you have not heard about our Vibe Talk at night, Vibe Talk after dark, look for it on your Instagram. We'll go live with it on our Facebook so that you're able to be a part of that too. And it's just a chill thing where we sit and we talk about what you want to talk about. So don't forget to call in. And we're going to reach out to people as well. So get prepared for that. We'll have a lot of fun with that. And until that time, now it wants to work. Isn't that grand? We want you to take care of you. Take care of you. Because if you don't take care of you, nobody else is going to. Always remember that. We thank you for joining us. Trish, I thank you. And we'll see you. Hold on. The next time. Right here on Vibe Talk, Facing the Lion. Thank you for joining us. Trish, do you have the closing song?
It's not on me right now.
No worries. No worries. Okay. Next time we come, I will have everything ready, guys. Thank you. And I wish you more of clear direction. Thank you for joining us here at Vibe Talk, Facing the Lion.